Good evening, Ravens flock. I hope everyone is doing well. You came here to hear my thoughts on how we are going to fare this upcoming season. Well, here you go. The Ravens are going 17-0. We're making it into the postseason and beyond. We are winning the Super Bowl. That's all I have for you today. Thanks for joining. I'm just kidding. I kid. Let's get the show started. You know why you're here. Let's talk Ravens with Yolanda. Let's go. A healthy balance at every position. Key if they brought in Derrick Henry because the Ravens aren't serious. Dirk DeCosta's make or break season, off season. Good evening again, Ravens flock. I hope everyone is doing well on this Friday Eve. Listen, I know that we are here to talk exclusively about how these Baltimore Ravens are going to fare this upcoming season, but I want this to be interactive, right? I want to hear from you. We're going to go through the schedule and we're going to discuss each opponent, how we think we're going to, whether we think we're going to win or we think we're going to, I don't like to say lose, whether we're going to win or come in second place. How does that sound? But before we get the show started, I'd like to say hello to everyone who has already joined in the chat. We have Jeff J. Good evening. Good evening. But first, I see we have Brandon Bazel. Yes, I don't know if my order is not in place, but Brandon is usually always first. Shout out to UB Squared. Thank you for joining. We also have the Woo Pig podcast. If you enjoy college football, Arkansas Razorbacks, head over to the Woo Pig podcast, give them a follow, subscribe to their channel. Brandon Bazel also has a channel of his own. Make sure you do what the Woo Pig podcast says. Wipe your feet before you come in, and please do me a favor, hit the like button. It helps the channel out a lot. Jeff J., I hope you're doing fine this evening. Good to see all of you all virtually. We've got, oh wow, full house tonight. Holy bro, good evening to you. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for joining. Abdi, so nice to have you. 13-4. Ooh, we are going to get into it because I think you just read my mind, Abdi. How did you know that's where I was headed? But I have a little surprise. So we'll talk more about that in just a bit. We have Keto Laura Baltimore. That's right. We are bringing the thunder and the lightning and the storm, all the smoke. We're bringing it all because we know these Baltimore Ravens are ready. And so I know us fans, we are ready as well. You messed up by letting me have a mic. I told you all last week. So you get what you get now because I have this microphone and it's no holds barred. Tim Hughes, good evening to you. Thank you for joining. I love the fact that this year when we win the Super Bowl, that's right. We are, with the schedule we had that they've given us, we can finally completely run out of excuses for those who have doubted us. That's it, Tim. That's right. No more excuses why the Ravens weren't this or we weren't that or you don't have this or you don't have that. You gave us a difficult schedule, but that's okay. We're about to rise to the occasion and I'm excited. We also have Big Reg, host of Big Boy Talk. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining, Big Reg. Head over to Big Reg's channel. Awesome content, great dialogue, great conversations, always thought-provoking. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel and you can thank me later. Welcome in, Songstress for Real. Good to see you. Thank you for joining tonight. I'm glad you're here. All righty, so let's just go ahead and dive into this schedule because I want to go through each game. And as I mentioned earlier, let me know in the chat. Put a W if you think we're going to win. But if you think we're going to come in second place, that's right. I'm not going to say we're going to lose. But if you think we're going to come in second place, let me know in the chat why. Give me a reason why you think that's going to be a game that we just don't walk out with a W. First game, Kansas City, in Kansas City. This one we touched on a little bit earlier in the week. I don't think this is a get back game, a get right game, a revenge game. It's the first one of the season. The first one of the season. We are opening the NFL, and we don't even know what we have in terms of how our offense is going to gel, how our defense, and that's not just for us, it's for every team. It's the first game. But I think even though we're going to Kansas City, I think for me, this one is a W. I think we win this game. I do. And I do think that this is going to be an incredible, incredible test for our new defensive coordinator. Zach Orr, you've got your hands full, and you've got your hands full early. So we'll see how he does with this. I'd like to see a matchup that I'm looking forward to in this game. If Wiggins plays, we had a conversation on one of the live streams recently, and I asked, who do you think the day one starters will be? And several people thought that Nate Wiggins has a very good shot at being a day one starter. So I didn't think so. I think maybe he'll be introduced into the rotation eventually, but nonetheless, let's assume that Wiggins does make an appearance, even if on limited snap count. Let's assume Wiggins does appear for that game. I'm looking forward to the matchup between he and Hollywood Brown. That's the one for me. Jeff says, we play much better on the road. I agree with you. I do. I think we do play better as a whole on the road. So this one, I have this one down as a win. That's right, Keto, Laura, Baltimore. I have this one as a win. B. James, welcome into the show. Thank you for joining. I hope you're doing well. And for those of you who are just now joining, I want to go through the schedule. You tell me whether you think we're going to win or whether you think we're going to come in second place. And if you happen to be watching this on replay, please do the same. Leave a comment down below and let us know your thoughts on a couple of games or matchups that you find to be very intriguing and whether you think we'll win or come in second place. Week 2, at home versus the Raiders. Week 2. This one to me this is an automatic win. I do. I think this one, what are they doing over there with their QB situation? Like, I don't even know. I don't even think they know. But even if they do know, I think this is whether we were playing at home or at the Raiders, it doesn't matter. To me, I pick this one as a win. So I don't have any doubt that we'll come out with a victory week 2. Here's where it gets a little tricky for me. So as I mentioned earlier, 13-4 is kind of where I was leaning, but here's where it could change. Week 3, Cowboys away. I have us right now. I have us as a win. That could change. I know that there's only been one team in the NFC that has beaten Lamar Jackson, and that's the Giants. I just can't believe that the NFC least is going to come out with the victory week 3. I can't see it. However, if that is not accurate, if that changes, if we don't win week 3, then that's going to change my answer moving into week 4. Week 4, we play the Bills at home. I have this as a win. However, if we lose week 3, this could change as well. We'll see. Josh Allen, the Bills have lost several key pieces, and I don't know how Josh Allen is going to fare. And we'll just see. We'll see what happens. They lost a lot of offensive weapons. I don't know if their defense is ready for us. I have question marks with the Bills. So I'm looking forward to this one. Now, week 5. So right now, tentatively, pencil. Week 4, I have us as a win. Week 5. This is a matchup that I'm uh, pretty excited about. Week 5 away versus the Cincinnati Bengals. If you've been on my channel for any length of time, and by any length of time, I mean a couple of months because I just started, but when I mention the Bengals, the first name that comes to mind, obviously, their quarterback, Joe Burrow. And a lot of whether we win or lose depends on whether Joe Burrow stays healthy the entire game. And not just our game. I hear he's still having some nagging issues from his injury. We'll see how that, we'll see how he heals. We'll see how he develops. We'll see how he progresses this offseason. But to me, the Bengals, their season hinges upon the availability and the readiness, the preparedness of Joe Burrow. And with Joe Burrow present, if he is there, I think this one, I have us winning. I have us winning this game. Even though it is away, I still have us winning this game because I know that, I'll just say the reason I think we're going to win. It has nothing to do with talent. The Bengals fan base, they get a little spicy. They get very, very spicy and mouthy. And I just want to hush them up. So that's why we're going to win. It has nothing to do with, is this a good matchup? Is this talent going to actually, evolve in terms of like our offense, our defense? That has nothing to do with it. We just need to win because I don't want to hear the Bengals. They just kind of, they can be a bit much, the fan base sometimes. But I mean, I think the same could be said about any fan base, really. So if you're a Bengals fan watching, welcome. No shade here. I'm sure you think the same thing about the Ravens. Like, oh, goodness, those Ravens fans, they are a piece of work. They are something else. I see we have a couple of L's in the chat. I want to stop and take a quick look. Keto Laura Baltimore says she believes that we're going to lose against the Bills. To me, it can go either way. It really can. And I wouldn't be shocked if we did. If we took an L to the Bills, I wouldn't be surprised. And she's right. Keto Laura also says it depends on Joe Burrow's hand. For week 5 against the Bengals, that's very much dependent on how well Joe Burrow heals. So I'm looking forward to that one. Week 6 at home against the Washington Commanders. They're in a rebuild mode. They're adding pieces. They're trying to improve their roster. Yeah. I still have us as a win. This one I think is a W. We're going to come out with the win at home. Week 7 against the Bucks. Again, although this is an away game, we're not losing to Baker. We're just not losing to Baker Mayfield. No, absolutely not. This one I have, even though it's an away game, I have us as a win for this one. And as I go through, let me know if you disagree. If there's a game where you think that we're not going to win, maybe I have my hopes just a little too high, let me know and we can chat about it. Week 8 against the Browns. This is an away game. This would be my first definite loss. Again, I mentioned Cowboys could go either way. I have us right now as a win. Bills could go either way. I'm still keeping us as a win. But for the Browns, I think this is our first definite loss. And I hate to say it, anytime we talk a loss, it's painful. It's uncomfortable. But certainly to an AFC North opponent at that. But I'll give it to the Browns. They're a great team. They're a good team. And we just need to see if their quarterback can put it all together this year. It depends. Can he stay healthy? Can he put it together? And if so, if that offense can thrive, then we have our hands full. And again, let's remember, we have a brand new defensive coordinator. We have a first-year defensive coordinator. So the road to success this year might be a little bumpy. That doesn't mean we're not making it. That doesn't mean we're not getting, at the end of the year, hoisting up that Lombardi. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that please understand that I think we might have some struggles and some challenges and some hurdles, growing pains, if you please, along the way. So this one, I have us taking an L. I want to say hello to Tanja Bowman. Thank you for joining. The Bills have some changes. Hopefully, we can beat the Bills. I, Tanja, if you just joined, I have us as a question mark. I'm tentatively putting us down for winning against the Bills. But that said, that game I think could go either way. Week 9 against the Broncos. At home, this one is a win. This one is an absolute win for me. I don't see how we would not be able to win against Denver. Too many changes in Denver, too many changes of guard, changes of hats. I'm not going to say they're a total rebuild, but I don't see us losing at week 9. One thing I will note is I do like later bye weeks. By later, I mean week 8, week 9, maybe week 10. Last year, I don't remember exactly what week we had our bye, but I know it was later. It wasn't as late as we're having it this year, but it was later in the season. I don't mind having a later bye. I don't. But this year's bye at week 14, that's really late. But I did see a stat that said I think the last time we had a week 14 or a bye that late in the season, 2000, when we won the Super Bowl. That's all I'm going to say. I'll leave that right there. So let's hope that we can repeat that. It'd be nice if we could. I want to say hello to Hendo from the Rogue Pod. Good evening. He's practicing and polishing up on his Spanish. Good for you. Welcome. Thank you for joining. We also have with us tonight MDT. What if we go 15-0? Well, we have 17 games. It's 18 weeks with one bye. So what if we go 17-0? Broncos is going to be the worst team in the NFL. I don't know about the worst. I can think of a couple of others that might give the Broncos a run for their money. They're trying, okay? They've been in a state of influx, and MDT, I don't know if they're going to be the worst, but I certainly don't have them in top 10, 20, 25. Like, they're very low on the list for me. Please make sure you hit the like button. It does help the channel out a lot. And if you're new, welcome. I hope you consider joining the family and subscribing. We would love to have you with us. Also, we have, I'll get to Jarrett in 1 second. I wanted to read B. James's comment. As long as we don't play down to our competition, I don't see why we can't have a 2-loss season. That's a good point. That's something that the Baltimore Ravens have been known to do. When we have teams or we're going up against a team that on paper might look like this is an easy win. This is cakewalk. Of course, we're going to win against this team. We do have a tendency to play down to our competition, and it's usually not favorable for us when we do that. So duly noted, B. James, we certainly don't need to play down to our competition. At the end of the day, we have to keep in mind, no matter how low on the number or the totem pole, no matter where a team ranks, whether they are number 1, whether they are number 32, all of these teams are stacked with NFL players who've made it. Is it 1% of the population actually makes it to the NFL? So I always go into each week, I don't want to say that, oh yeah, it's a definite win. Although I find myself doing that. I've done it here tonight. But on game day, I still find myself getting a little bit nervous. I find myself watching the TV intently, making sure that, okay, we're staying on pace, because just like B. James mentioned, we do play down to our competition. Not cute. Not cute at all. Good evening to you, Jared Green. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. So as I was mentioning about our week 14 bye week, we're not even there. We're not even close, because we're just ending week 9. So for Broncos, I have us as a win. That leads us to week 10. We play the Bengals again. Ordinarily, I think we split with AFC teams. With other AFC North teams, I generally think we split in terms of one win for us, one win for them. I don't know, but this year I feel different. If we lose week 5, we're certainly not losing week 10. No way. No way. I still have us as a win in week 10. Week 11, and by the way, week 10 is at home versus the Bengals. That's why, for sure, we're not losing. We're not losing at home. Not against the Bengals. Just can't happen. Mm-mm. Week 11, we play the Pittsburgh Steelers away. This is my second loss, the second definite loss. We have back-to-back division games, and that's tough. I don't know that. I hate saying it against the Pittsburgh Steelers. With any in an AFC North team, I don't like saying that we're going to lose. But this one, week 11, I have us taking an L. Let me know if you guys agree. Keto Laura, she says, this is an L. This is one of our. And the NFL knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. They gave us 2 back-to-back AFC North, and we all know, I think everybody knows, if you watch football or you're a fan of the sport, you understand that there's just something about the AFC North. There's just something very rough, tough about the AFC North. And to have 2 of those games back to back, didn't even bother to space them out, just said, no, here you go, Ravens. Good luck. They knew what they were doing. So that's okay. That's right. Keto Laura, and it's okay. We're gonna rise to the challenge. It's fine. We're gonna be just fine. Week 13, Philadelphia. We take on the Eagles at home. I'm on the fence. Someone made a comment on one of my live streams. I think when I was speaking about the addition of Derrick Henry and how the NFL should not have allowed this pair to happen. They should not have allowed Derrick Henry to be matched up with Lamar Jackson. And someone made a comment that he would take Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. And, my response was, yes, that's a very good combination. I can't deny that. But for me, I will take Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry all day, every day, and twice on Sundays. That's what I had to say. And I'm sticking by that. So for this one, I was a little bit on the fence, but I'm leaning more toward the win. I don't know if Saquon, Jalen, I don't know if they're ready for our defense. Excuse me. And excuse me. And that's assuming that our defense is ready. That is assuming that Zach Orr has our team, our defense prepared. We'll see how it turns out for us. But this one, I was a little bit on the fence. It's a short week for us. That always plays into it. That's always a factor that we have to consider. So I have us as a win for this one. Songstress for Real said the Steelers have done so much to improve their team. They really have. They knew that's an excellent point. They knew going into the draft that they needed to shore up that O-line. And they did just that. Now their secondary is still questionable, but in terms of adding pieces to their roster, bettering their quarterback room, bettering their quarterback situation, they've done a lot. And so that's why I think that's going to be an L for us, week 11. Week 14, that is our late bye. By this time in the season, there's always the question of, are the players healthy? How are they faring in terms of their physical, ability to remain and sustain? That's always something to question or something to worry about. But if our team can stay healthy, I think we have a good shot of going all the way this year. If our team can stay healthy. So that's, we do have a tough schedule, but a lot of other teams have tougher schedules, and they have tough schedules as well. And that's a part of the game. That's a part of being in the NFL. So you take the good, you take the not so good, and you make the best of it. So week 14, we have a bye. We give our guys some rest. They'll need it. Week 15, against the Giants. This is an away game. We're not losing to the Giants. We're just not. No way. I'm more concerned about playing on that awful field. They do have Waller. I I didn't vacillate with this when I was looking at the schedule. I said, no, we're not losing to the Giants. But in the back of my mind, again, I remember the one team from the NFC that has beaten Lamar Jackson, the Giants. It's not happening again. It's not going to be a repeat around here this time. No, sir. Good evening, Nana Rave. She says, if anything with a division rival, we can't sweep. We need to split. Absolutely. 100%. So if we are not victorious on the front end of playing our division rivals, we certainly need to clean that up toward the latter portion of the season. As I mentioned, now we're going into week 16 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We play them at home. This one I have as a win. So as Nana just indicated, I think we're going to split. With the Steelers, we're going to come out victorious week 16. We're going to learn a lot from the L that we take in week 11. We're going to hopefully be coached up well enough. We're going to be prepared. We're going to study film. We're going to realize the mistakes that we made and not make them again, so that when we see them again at week 16, we come out with the victory. Week 17, this is Christmas. They just love putting the Ravens on Front Street. So this is week 17, highly anticipated game, highly anticipated matchup between the Ravens and the Texans in Texas. We are in Texas. We're in Houston. This is an away game. On Christmas, national television. I don't like to say this. This is my other loss for us. I have us losing to the Texans week 17. The question that I have for week 17 is, oftentimes we see players go through a sophomore slump, i.e. Odafe Oweh a year and a half ago. But I move on. We're not talking about Odafe tonight. If CJ Stroud finds himself in a sophomore slump, we need to take advantage of that, especially because there's so much film out there already. He's played an entire season and 2 games into the postseason. So there's plenty of film for us to see his tendencies, watch the coaching, watch how he's developing. And by the time we reach week 17, there'll be even more film on CJ Stroud, because I have to give it to CJ. He's one that I feel almost like the Bengals, Joe Burrow, but not as much, because obviously Joe Burrow is our division rival. But I tip my hat off to CJ. Excellent, excellent player. And if his coaching staff continues to bring out the best in him and develop his talent, he's going to be spectacular. He's going to be that guy. He's going to be the one to watch. And I don't know if our mindset is on Christmas Day, we need to win against the Texans. And especially we had a late bye. You have to consider how guys are how they're faring in terms of if there are any injuries, are there nicks, are there bruises? Everybody's going to be dealing with some type of ache, some type of pain by now. At this moment, for me, the goal is win as many games as you can, but rest your players as much as you can so that we can have them down the stretch and into the postseason. And week 18, last game of the season, we play the Browns at home. I mentioned earlier the Browns at week 8 we are losing to the Browns. I have them coming out on top, and we will just kind of not win in week 8. But when we see them again, week 18, I have us winning. We play them at home, and I think that we're, like Nana mentioned, we're going to split with our division rivals. And this one, week 18, I think we're going to win. Where does that leave us in terms of the end of this regular season? Wins, loss. I have us at 14-3 with a possible. Does anybody play spades? You guys play spades? Well, if you do, you know what I mean. We have a possible. So I have us at 14-3 with a possibility of going 13-4. I don't want us to go 13-4, but I would not be mad if we did. So Ravens, take care of business. Go 14-3. Otherwise, I think we're going 13-4. Let me know if you agree, or if you disagree with that record. If you think that our record is going to be better than 14-3 or worse, I'd love to hear from you. Keto Laura at Baltimore says, yeah, they got Diggs, a cancer. I'll say this about Stephon Diggs. I will say this. That's what people say about him in the locker room. I wonder if a change of environment, and we'll see. I wonder if a change of environment can bring out something different, something better for him. I don't know. We'll see. Aaron Butler, welcome into the show. Ravens and Chiefs, the rest are irrelevant. That was going to be my question. I like to always ask questions and leave you guys with one. So Aaron Butler beat me to the question. If you are watching on replay, please leave a comment down below and give me your thoughts on this, and everyone in the chat also. What regular season game are you most excited to watch? We know Aaron Butler. He gave us his answer. We also have with us Hot Boy Rod 89. What is Spades? Great question. Spades is a card game. So I'm from the South, and I went to Florida A&M University. Go Rattlers. And one thing that we used to do in the dormitory, because there's not a whole lot else you're going to do, we would play spades. It is a game. Google it, and then we'll talk about it next time. But it's a game that is to me, very addictive, because once you start playing, and I'm pretty competitive. I'm actually very competitive. So when I play spades, I don't like to lose. So no, I want to win. So for me, But spades is a wonderful game. It's a card game. Sip to Tally Films, Coach Evans, thank you for joining. Please make sure you go over to Sip to Tally Films and subscribe to his channel. And also, if I didn't mention earlier, Hendo from the Rogue Pod has a channel of his own. Make sure you go over to his channel and follow and subscribe to him as well. Coach Evans has us at 12-5. Ooh, that's a lofty goal. 12-5. I don't know how we lose that many games. Ooh, Coach, that one kind of hurt a little bit. I can't blame you. I can see it. I'm looking at the schedule, and you can see it on the screen here. I just don't like it. Okay. I don't like it, but I couldn't say that that's totally far-fetched. Strike. Yes. I love it. Okay. Jeff J says that KC could be for the bye or tie. Good point. Very good point. Excellent point there. I think all of these games can have serious playoff implications, and we have to take each game seriously. And that's something that I'm looking for the Ravens to do. And not just the players. It starts with the coaching staff. The coaches from Harbaugh all the way down, they have to have this team prepared every single game, because each game could be a playoff possibility. It could be the difference between seeding. And when it comes down to the wire at the end of the season, every game matters. Every single game counts. So, yeah. Nana says, yes, she loves spades too. Excellent. Yeah. I'm telling you, Hot Boy, uh, Rod 89. Check out Spades. Just Google it. Go on YouTube, and you're gonna find it's super entertaining. But it's a fun game. Like if you're having family reunions, or if you have to have 4 people. So if you have 4 people, get around a table, take out a deck of cards, start playing Spades, and let me know what you think of the game. Come back by and let me know. Um, Aaron Butler says, I'm most looking forward to Ravens versus Chargers. Ooh, I think I missed the Chargers at week 12. I did. Oh gosh, I'm so glad you said that. I think I skipped over and went from week 11 and week 13. Why y'all ain't tell me that? Why y'all didn't say something? Y'all know I can get off on tangents sometimes. But thank you, Aaron. Week 12. Yes, I missed it. We play the Chargers away. And that is a great game. That is a great one. So I did miss that one. So thank you. I'm glad you put that up there. Put your comment up there. But yes, week 12 against the Chargers, the two brothers going tete-a-tete. I have us taking, I don't know. I think I have us taking a win at that one. I have us winning that. I have us winning. But I think each game carries its own, unique implication. But this one, I can see that one, Aaron. Really looking forward to that just because it's the two brothers playing against each other. Week 6 versus Ravens versus Commanders is the game. Big Reg, why are you looking forward to the Commanders? Why? Tell me why you are excited about that game. But I hope he was just joking. I'm pretty sure he was. The coaches have themselves, yeah, they have to be prepared themselves before they can motivate others. That's so true, Nana. Yeah, that's what we need. We need that. We absolutely need to make sure that our coaches are the right coaches for the job to lead us into the promised land. And we'll see. We'll see. I'll take a couple more comments and then I will get out of your way. Tanja says she has us beating the Chargers. I do too. I do too. I have us beating the Chargers. I think we're going to do that. Yeah. Keto Laura Baltimore says Harbaugh Bowl. Yeah. I think it's going to turn out to be something very similar to that. Well, that is it, gang. Thank you all so much for joining, stopping by and hanging out and sharing your thoughts with me and listening to my thoughts on this Ravens schedule. Tough schedule for us. But as Keto Laura Baltimore said earlier, it's okay. We're up to the challenge and it's our year. I'm going into the season saying that it is our year and I'm going to stick by it. I said it. You heard it here. I'm going to stick by it. And when you see me out in these YouTube streets on all other teams chat, I'm sticking up for our team. Oh, wait a minute now. What did you say about the Baltimore? Why don't you worry about your own situation over there? Anyway, thank you again. I appreciate you all so much for coming by and hanging out with me. Thank you again. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you are new, we're growing. We have goals over here. We've got a lot planned this off season. And as we move into OTAs pretty soon, the content is going to continue to come your way. Thanks to the new microphone. I hope I sound okay. I hope the audio is good for everyone. But again, I will see you all very soon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. The channel is growing and I cannot say thank you enough. But anyway, you all take care. You stay safe and always remember, never ever forget, go Ravens. God bless.